a huge 270-degree video screen wall of virtual reality. I was able to test it at Conspit. Conspit has equipped one of their Formula-style cockpits with the Primax 4K Crystal Light VR headset, and one simulator with its own video screen wall. One thing you can say from the start is that both setups made an impressive impression.
Let's Go Race, the channel for virtual motorsport.
But first, ein Info für my German-speaking viewers. Dieses Video ist auch mit deutschem Kommentar verfügbar. Den Link zum deutschsprachigen Video findet ihr in der Videobeschreibung. First of all, I'm talking about the hardware that was installed in the cockpits. In the VR setup, the smaller of the two Conspit Formula-style cockpits was installed. In addition, the Conspit FC Light cockpit was equipped with the in-house pedals. Special attention was also paid to the 779 Euro Conspit 290 GP Sim Racing steering wheel that was installed in the setup, because I will be able to test this steering wheel in detail in 2025. At first look, you immediately recognize the somewhat special positioning of the buttons. Conspit has paid great attention to the ergonomics of the steering wheel. The buttons are positioned in such a way that they have the perfect position and the perfect angle for the respective finger in the position when you want to press the button. The same applies to the grips. These have a very special shape and are extremely well adapted to the hand, which is not immediately apparent at the first look. The grips fit really well to the hand when driving. Overall, the steering wheel felt very high quality, and the functions like the buttons, rotary switches and shifters provide good haptic feedback. How good the buttons and the other functions really are remains to see when I can test the steering wheel in detail. As I rarely drive in VR, I was only able to devote 50% of my attention to the steering wheel. So that was all the information I wanted to give about the steering wheel. Because firstly, VR is very unusual for me, as I usually drive in my triple screen setup. And secondly, I also focused a bit on the VR headset and its quality. I think you can also see from my driving performance that I first had to get used to the headset. I mean, I can tell you how it is. I drove terribly because VR is just so unfamiliar to me. The headset was comfortable and fitted well, but not perfectly, which was because I realized after a few laps that the headset was not perfectly adjusted to my head and eyes. As a result, the video quality displayed suffered a little. This is because VR headsets have to be perfectly adjusted to your own head and eyes in order to exploit their full potential. However, you could get an idea of how good the quality of current VR headset has become. Not at triple screen level of course, but they are getting closer and closer. Immediately afterwards, I drove in the setup with the 270-degree video screen wall to be able to make an unadulterated comparison. Here I took a seat in the larger cockpit version, the Formula FC Pro cockpit. This setup also featured the company's own pedals and a slightly different Formula 1 steering wheel. I really like both cockpits, and you have to say there's something about being able to sit in a cockpit like this, especially when you have a video screen wall like this in front of you. A cockpit like this is something completely different to a normal rig made of aluminium profiles. It gives you a much better immersive feeling. And I can also say that both cockpits were quite comfortable. But to be fair, I only drove them for a few minutes. Back to the comparison between VR and the video screen wall. In terms of video quality, the VR headset is slightly ahead in my eyes. The resolution of the VR headset was in my opinion better. In addition, the three-dimensional perception was also better in the VR headset. But I found that in the setup with the video screen wall, I still felt more like I was sitting in a Formula 1 car, and it felt a bit more special. The video screen wall was also set up very good. The proportions really felt right from the driver's perspective, which the camera footage can't really convey. And then to see that you are really sitting in an ultra tight cockpit with not much space for your arms probably made all the difference. With the VR headset you can also see it, and I was really sitting in a tight cockpit, but the fact that I saw it virtually through the VR headset made it feel different. With the VR headset, however, the speed felt a bit more real and faster, which will be another point for the VR headset. I will also be buying a new VR headset at some point, and the Primax Crystal Light is definitely one of the top contenders. The quality and comfort were very good. I am someone who really likes to see what he has installed in his cockpit. That's why I still think triple screen is better than virtual reality. That's why the video screen wall wins the race for me personally, but only by a very small margin. As you could see in the comparison of VR versus video screen wall, both have their advantages and disadvantages, and both systems have their reason for use. I hope you enjoyed the video. More videos and tests from the Sim Racing Expo 2024 will be released in the coming weeks and have already been published. Among other things, the SimuCube active pedals, many new steering wheels and hardware from Acetec, Fanatec, SimLab, Cube Controls, Solarpack, Mosa, VPG, Bavarian SimTech, GSI, a test with Assetto Corsa Evo and much more. A detailed review video of the Conspit Sim Racing Hub with all 3 available GT-style steering wheels will also be released on YouTube soon after I have tested the sets in detail. If you have any further questions, please post them in the comments. Thanks for watching and see you next time.